FastCast TV, Game of Thrones has returned. Season 7, Episode 1. So this was a pretty typical season opener, checking in on all the various threads, make sure we all are caught up before we get into whatever's going to happen this season. It opens with a fantastic cold open that, if you watch the sort of behind the scenes thing afterwards, you find out was not even really meant to be a cold open, but after they made it, they loved it so much that they decided to keep it. And this is Arya wearing the face of Walder Frey, basically destroying the rest of his family. Every single male is brought into this room, and she murders them all. Go Arya. I thought one of the more interesting ones was the Hound, who's traveling with the guy who the Lord of Light keeps bringing back. They end up at a house which he has been to before. So this is a house where him and Arya had spent, I think, a little bit of time. He finds out that after he left, they were basically starving and they died. And so he's got a rare moment of sort of remorse, while also apparently being inducted into the religion of the Lord of Light. The Lannisters we check in with, and man, Cersie got a cers. I do think the question that they were having with one another of sort of like, who are we building this dynasty for, is an interesting one and a good one, because I think the sort of implication in the story is that they're too old to have more kids, plus would they really at this point with what everybody knows about them? And so yeah, who is she building this dynasty for? Power for the sake of power, but why? Obviously Winterfell, Jon, and Sansa. That one's just sort of sitting. I think it's interesting what they're doing with him and her and the push and pull of power, because they're like a brother and sister, not a husband and wife, but they clearly both sort of have opinions about how to govern there. I think the scene this week was very much, is it going to come back to bite him that he did this thing where like he didn't reward loyalty and punish disloyalty? So we got Samwell learning to maester. I thought the editing of that scene didn't quite fit. It didn't feel like Game of Thrones there, when they're doing like the fast, like, oh man, every day you got to do the same thing, clean the bedpans, feed the food, whatever. What we do know now is that there is a mountain of dragon glass under Dragonstone, which could be hopefully used in the war to come. The last one obviously is Daenerys, who has now officially set foot in the Seven Kingdoms. She has landed on Dragonstone, which is completely abandoned because it used to be Stannis, and obviously Stannis is gone. I'm kind of surprised he didn't leave a garrison of anything there, or maybe they just did that for dramatic effect. And yeah, she had a very House of Cardsy moment at the end where she's standing by the table and she's like, let's begin. Game of Thrones is definitely back, but this isn't one of those like, oh my god, this amazing episode, because it's the first one back. And obviously we'll see where it goes from here. But I can't wait to watch it again, week to week. So that's Game of Thrones, Season 7, Episode 1. FastCast, see ya! Hey, thanks for watching the FastCast. If you like what I do here, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You can also follow me on Twitter at Mr. J Handle. And remember to check back, because I do this a couple times a week. Thanks a lot, everybody. FastCast!